Um, I just want to share a little bit, this week about interpreting dreams. And it's just a good thing to do. And I just want to do that with you guys and to talk about it a little bit. You don't have to be a giant in the spirit to interpret dreams. You can be a person just looking to be used by God. And the more that you walk in this aspect of wanting to be used by God, the more you can start to interpret things, start to give messages, and start to just explore this aspect of interpreting dreams. And so it's a spiritual aspect that we can have a lot of insight about if we can just walk with the Lord. And one thing is, when we walk with the Lord, we can just hear the Lord and see with the Lord and listen with the Lord, and we can just learn about how it is to give a message. So, it's like a yearning, an urge upon us, and we kind of just say, this is the message, and this is the way you should go about it, and this is the thing that you should do, and here is the instructions that I feel you should go about with this. And so there's a lot of different angles, a lot of different things that you can say, and these angles that you can go about saying are good to just listen to God and start to feel the urge from in you how to give that message, to how to interpret dreams. And so it's an urge, it's a word. It's about giving a word. And when you start to learn about how it is to give a word, how it is to give a word of faith, then you can start to interpret dreams. Because you have that place in you that you can do stuff from. And when you start to build those places in you that you can do stuff from, then you can start to work and start to give the interpretations of dreams. And so when you start to feel how God feels in you, then you can start to do these things. And so over time, you can develop these ways to interpret dreams. And so if you have a dream, I'd love to hear it. If there's been one on your mind for a while, one in your past that you want to bring up, then I may have an interpretation. Others may have an interpretation. And so we want to go about this in a way that we're free and open to just talking about it. And I just want to hear the messages that you guys have through the commenting, and we can interpret dreams. And so there's I've been getting a lot of dreams lately, and one dream I got last night was a dream about investing in a train. And this is something that comes about every once in a while. And so I see it as a bigger destiny thing. And so if I put my money in something good, it's going to grow. And there's a lot of new technology out there, and I'm excited about it, and I've developed some emotion about it. Just seeing some of these new trains that the guy that does SpaceX has been working on, and there's a lot of cool things about it. And so the thing is with it is what am I going to do about it? And where am I going to go with it? And so sometimes dreams are a direction, and they give you an understanding of where things are going, how other people are looking at something, how you can be blessed. Sometimes dreams are just blessing, and so they're not always a word about the future. Sometimes they're just blessing. And I had dreams where I just wake up laughing and I'm enjoying it. And thank you guys for joining. I'm happy to see all you here. Casey, Jennifer, Arthur, Amanda, Ricky, Colton, Martha. It's good to see all of you here. And I just want you all to look at that. You can be young, and you can be new in the Lord. You can be you may not have much experience with messages, but the Lord can give you a message of how to interpret a dream. And so the dreams that you have are powerful because they have a connection to the relationship that God wants for you. And you look at your dreams and you find the ones that are from God, and you start to work with them. And you find the ones that are for you and not against you, ones that are pure and from God. And when you start to look at these things, that it's not just the body function, but it has some realness to it. Because some dreams are natural. They're happen from your body. Some dreams are spiritual and they happen from your spirit. And some dreams are from the enemy, and you just don't listen to them. So you look at it and you get the message. Some dreams are connected from other people, and you have to look at it from God's perspective to get the message that God wants you to have with each dream. And so there's a lot to understand about it and grow with it. And so if any of you have a dream that you want to talk about, just comment about it, and I'd love to hear about it. And so when you're looking for a word, look with confidence. Look with expectancy. Look. You don't have to have time and years to have a word. God operates out of time. He doesn't need time. And so sometimes when we see him and we interpret something, we have to look at it because he's out of time. But he has all the time in the world for us. And he can work in our lives how we ask him to. And so a lot of times, especially when we're building a relationship with God, we have to look at these things as God has time for us. And there is a place for us to just to look at God. And thank you for joining, Ashley. And there's a lot of places where you can grow with the interpretation of dreams by just by looking at how God sees something, and how to just give a message from God. A lot of times when we get that word from the Lord, when we just feel it just bursting from us, then we can start to interpret dreams from that bursting. And we can start to interpret dreams from that place within us that just allows us to dwell in that interpretation. So we can dwell in that interpretation by just feeling that connection from God, and feeling how that feels. So over and over, as we develop with Him, we start to develop that connection. And so experience helps. And so, but we don't need experience to really start to interpret. We just need a word from God. And so that's where it is. And so we have to just look at God as a lover and a fighter for us and a giver. And I took that from my friend Tara Davis, who just wrote a book. She wrote a devotional. It was nice to talk to her this past weekend, and we shared some ideas about helping her market her book. And so it's good to just look at how we can have a vision for our life, and we can have a dream for our life, and we can start to look at that as a place to enjoy our life, and how to see how God can wow us in our life. And so there's a place to just enjoy and to learn. I want us all to just feel that. Just ask God to. We're going to do an exercise, and this exercise is just feeling the Lord in us, and we just wait upon Him, and we ask God to fill us up with a word. And so this may take some time to just feel this. And so I'm feeling right now a place of faith. Now, when I'm a speaker, I feel more of it because I have what it takes to speak. A lot of speakers start to feel what God is going to give. And so that feeling, that feel, and as you feel it, you can feel the vibrations of God in the air, and you can feel the Holy Spirit speaking through me. And so these words that we share are more than just sound and even rhythm, but it's the vibration of God. And we just feel the vibration of God. And so I feel it when it comes out. It feels like water just coming into me. And it feels like bursting coming out of me. It feels like urges in me being spoken. It feels like places in me feeling filled, and just I feel it in me. And so these are the things that you should look for, and to look for when you're feeling the feelings of God. And so you want to feel these things and grow with these things. And these places are just good to look at and grow with and experience. And these messages are good to just feel. And so this is how you feel out the Father's heart and feel out the places that He has for you in your life. And so a lot of times when you speak from the Word, you can speak from the Father's heart, and you can speak from experience. And you start to feel these urges and these places in you that really just help you experience what God has for you. And so this is the Word, and these are the things that you should look at and grow with. So again, I'm going to just tell you to wait and feel God just moving in you. Feel God moving in you like a vision. And I know a lot of us have done a vision exercise where we feel, we see in our mind's eye God moving in our head. Now we're going to feel Him or angelic presence moving or filling us up. And I feel that angelic presence. And I see the angels behind me. They're golden, and they change the screen. They change the atmosphere, and they change the screen. And so I feel their presence behind me. I know they're there. And they're very light. And so you can't really see them very much, but they're there. And you see how it's lighter and how the screen is changing? That is interesting, because look at my hand. I move it closer, and it's different. But it wasn't the same. It's changed. Now they're moving around. They moved around more towards the front. And so it's good to just experience God and experience the angels and feel them out. Feel out their presence and feel out their body and just look at them. So it's good, even if one sits in your lap. So they're good whatever they do, and so it's good to just experience the Lord and experience whatever He has for you. And so the Lord is going to give you new places to go and new traveling to do. As you have words to speak, it's going to astound you what He can do with you. And these words that He can speak to you aren't mere small words. They're big words. They're words that change nations. They're words that change hearts. They're words that help people. And God can do that. He can do that with you. And so look at the heavens. Look at what God can do. Look around you. Look at the spiritual atmosphere. So you have to look at how God is affecting light and dark. And that can help your eyes see and your ears to experience what He has for you. You can feel the presence of God and follow it. Follow the presence. Follow the presence and know Him. Know Him. So just start to know Him. Start to experience Him. It doesn't take a giant to interpret dreams. It takes getting a word from God. And so it's okay if you don't have it now. God can give it to you later. He can fill you up and change you. And so just look at these things. Feel these things out and know what God can do for you. So this is the word I have for you today. I feel like there's more, so I'm going to keep going. There is a dream that you have, and that dream is powerful. This dream is a mystery. It's a dream that you've had for a while, and it is an effigy. I don't think it's a eulogy. It's I don't know what an effigy is. I'll have to look it up. And I keep getting the word epitome, but I think this is something that I've been getting. And I feel like I get pulled to this word. And I don't know if it's a word that's trying to pull me down, But you can look at the Lord in a new way. You can look at the Lord in a way where you can understand him better with all the dreams that you have. And so look at the dreams that you have and start to ask for words, and these words will lead you to interpretations. These interpretations will lead you to more walking with him in the right way and learning from him. And so just look at these dreams as a gift from God and a gift from heaven to just have these words for you. And so look at your dreams and ask others, what do you think about them? Can you give me a word from God to experience what I'm supposed to experience with them? And so as you grow with words from God and you start to feel these things out, then you can start feeling these urges and feel these words in you to just experience these dreams in the way that you're supposed to experience them. And so you'll start to get words, and as soon as you wake up, you have the interpretation and you have the dream that you know is real or not real. So if you have a dream, just feel free to share, and I'd be happy to see if I can interpret it for you, or give you a word about it of guidance to get something even more from it. And so I appreciate just hearing a few things about the dreams and just hearing the words that you have to say about it. And so look at your dreams as a journey to a new world. And you can have many dreams for God, or just looking at what you need, and just looking at everything that you need, and getting more words from it. When you feel things out and you feel for a word, sometimes you get that thing that you need really deeply. I know I am a vessel, and I feel that word vessel right now. And it's like you feel that word of faith just come out, and you feel more alive, and you feel it's like an urge in you, and you feel these urges, and you feel these things where you're filled with a word, and you just feel this urge to say one word or say another word. And so that's what you have to look at. With God, he fills you up with words. And so when you belong to Jesus, he can fill you up with visions and words and ideas and creativeness and whatever you need, he can fill you up with. And so it just starts with belief, and he changes you in your body in a way where you understand things better, and you start to use these gifts that he has for you. And so you can have that word. You can start anywhere with him, and he can give you that word. So I appreciate you joining, Chris, and joining Cody and everyone else. Just look at everything as a place for you to just enjoy yourself and to grow in an understanding you hadn't before. And then you start to feel it out and feel that word and feel everything for you. And so you can get that word, and I feel that word get, and that word beckoning. And so, and I'm moving ahead of myself. That beckoning is now. And you can have that beckoning. You can have that word at this moment. in the moment. And you can have that moment now. You have to give time for God to prepare, but you can have that moment now. It's like the word comes and you're like calling God's presence to you. You call his presence to you and you start to feel that word. And you start to feel, you feel what that speech is. You feel that urge. You feel this, like this download into you. It's just a good message sent by an angel. And so God can give you messages from angels. He can give you messages from anywhere. And so look at the messages God has for you. And he can help you dwell in these things and just learn from these things. And so if you view earlier what we spoke about, I've been speaking about how it doesn't take much to learn a word from God or have a word from God. It just takes feeling something once God has had time to prepare you to feel something in you. And so you have to just allow him to birth in you just a newness of life and just share from that newness of life that he has for you. It's like sex. You'll never know until you do it. And so you can't experience sex without experiencing God. The thing is, God is like sex. You cannot understand it until you've had it. And so God is like a whole new experience. And it's a whole new understanding of understanding. And so it's a whole new level. And so it's like when you get a word from God, that's when you can start to, that's the point where you can start to interpret dreams. And so when you start to get a word about the dream, then you can start to interpret the dream because you have that word. And so there's places of jumping off from that and getting understanding from the Lord and seeking out the word and hearing what the word says. And so there's a lot from that. It's that urge in you. It's that bursting out of you. It's that place of that fountain flowing out of you. And you just getting more from him. And so you can get a lot more from him if you just try and you allow him to work in you. You just wait for it and you feel it. And that's basically how it works, is you wait for it and you feel it. You feel it from him. He sends it to you. And that's when you start to have the word. And so this is how the word works. Because you have to give God and the heavenly forces time to work in you. You allow your spirit to come alive and work out of you and work through you. And so this is how it works, and this is how you're going to understand him and really just achieve a new level of understanding. And so you can start to have those words and reach out to him and to start to feel what he has for you. So I'm gonna just pray with you guys that you receive that word from him and you totally understand what he has for you. And just reach out to him and experience him and look to him because he's greater than you ever known. And so look out, look up, Hear from him. Seek him out. Feel him. Look up. Look up. And just feel what his presence can do. Look at what his presence can do. He can open up the sky. He can open up the ceiling and just you experience him. Okay? You experience him. You experience everything that he has. Like Stephen in the Bible, when he was about to die, he saw the heavens open up. And he saw something from the Lord. And so God can do that. He can open up the heavens and we can see him. You can open up, and from that feeling in you, that feeling that's in you, you start to feel it and you start to see this presence. And so these things start to work in you and you start to feel this presence. And you just close your eyes and you just feel it. And you feel it and you start to see it being etched before you and being etched about you, and you start to feel what it looks like. And so it's more than an imagination. It's more than what you are doing. It is what it is doing and what the presence is doing. And so you start to feel this presence being etched out about you. And you start to see this presence being etched out about you. And you start to feel him before you. And so these things about you can fill you up and help you interpret these dreams. They can help you interpret the vision that God has for your life. And so you start to see this, you start to feel this, and you start to know what he has for you. And so you start to feel the presence and interact with the presence, and you have the presence of God working before you. Okay. I'm going to end this now. And so you guys think about these things that I've spoken about. Go over this video a few times, and you're going to start to see how the presence can work. And the presence can fill your life up with joy. So you guys be in love with the Lord and just experience him. Bye.